Ooh, yeah. It's Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, grab a seat. Come on in and hit that light, hit that light. Oh, you're Aunt Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Grab a seat, prop your feet. Let's sip some tea, sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Come on in now. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah, yeah. Come on in and hit that like, don't forget now. Auntie Mickey's house. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Grown talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house, make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice, respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh, yeah. From the jokes to the prayer, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. Auntie Mickey's house, that's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. On in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. Come on in and hit the light. Hit the light, hit the light. You're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. It's Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in her house. You know you're in her house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat, come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Oh, you're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Grab a seat, prop your feet, let's sip some tea. Sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You know you're in a house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah. Come on in and hit that light, don't forget. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Grown talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh yeah. From the jokes to the prayers, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. That's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. see, come on in and hit that light. Hit the light, oh, yo, Auntie Mickey's, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house, oh.
Uh-oh. Here I am. Happy Tuesday, y'all. I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. It is only Tuesday. We ain't even halfway through this week yet. Lord have mercy. This is going to be a very, very short live tonight. I'm exhausted. And I got a lot of other work I need to get done. With this daycare stuff, so I hope everybody's doing okay. It's good to see you, though. It really is. Let me say hello to everybody. Hello, Barbara. I see you, love. Hello, Yolanda. You lurking in the background. I see you. Hello, Satin Doll. Hello, John Bean. How are you? Let's see. We have Kendra. Hello, Kendra. There's my love. Hello, hubby. How are you? Lawanda. Hello, Lawanda. I see you first in. You beat everybody here. Yay. It's going, Kendra. It's going. It's just, man, I'm exhausted. I ain't gonna lie. I am exhausted. It's been an eventful week on these lives thus far. But, like I said, I'm trying to stay committed even when it's hard. But just letting y'all know, I'm not going to be on that long tonight. I went live last night at the casino. And for those of you that joined me, I ended the live and something told me to go back for a second. So I posted another video in the event that you want to see what happened after I ended the live. But nevertheless, that was fun. But this YouTube thing is no joke. It really isn't. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. But it's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work. And if you don't have nothing else going on, but YouTube, it can be done. But when you're trying to hold down a job and a family and all that stuff and doing this on top of it, it's draining. It's very draining. But nevertheless, we have a lot of stuff going on in the country as well. And you can't ignore that because of what's going on in your life. Hello, nephew. How are you, sweetheart? Hello, Dawn. How y'all doing? Thank you, Dawn. You saw it. Hold on just a second. Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, there's a lot going on up in this country right now that we can't ignore just because of our own lives, Because next thing you know, you're going to look up and wonder, well, how did I miss this? Or how did I miss that? God forbid we go into a third world war. I'm glad to hear that, nephew. I hope you're doing better. I'm doing okay. Hey, Q Rock. Good to see you, love. So anyway, I just wanted to jump into this. Like I said before, it's going to be a very short live. But it is an extension of what we've been talking about with regard to ICE. I just don't have it in me tonight to debate people. I'm not here for that. And again, I'll say what I said last night. Everybody is free to come in here and give their opinion as long as it's respectful. We don't have to agree. We live in a country where we have the right to disagree. But in the same token, you can't just come in here being disrespectful and expect that I'm not going to clap back at you. Now, we had someone come in here earlier, John Bean. He said she brought her outcome on all by herself. All she had to do was comply. She would have been arrested for obstruction, but she would still be alive. And you know, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Nobody's debating that part, that, you know, she could have complied. There's a lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas involved. Just like the officer shouldn't have stood in front of the vehicle either. Now that's their policy. So there's a lot of blame going around. A lot of blame. And this is actually not, it has definitely, it's turned into a political discussion. And I guess rightfully so at that as well. But I don't know if many of you are even aware how this even came about in Minnesota. So let me first bring that to your attention. There is a YouTuber. What is his name? I didn't even bring it in here. Hold on just a second. Let me get his name. His name is Nick something. And he's a YouTuber. He's what they consider to be a MAGA YouTuber. And he launched his own investigation into daycares. Hey, Jess, how are you, sweetheart? He launched his own investigation into fraud in the Minnesota area regarding Somalian daycares. And, of course, this is, hello, big lad. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. He went around and investigating and knocking on doors of daycares and whatnot. And, many of them didn't open their doors. And I don't know if many of you are even aware that daycares don't normally keep their doors open for just anybody to come in. But he did have some valid points, I have to say. He had valid points that he should be able to at least call the number that's listed on the sign and someone should pick up. But this is what sparked everything. This is what sparked everything. And there had been some widespread fraud with subsidies and daycares in that city and countrywide. Hello, big lad Ralph. How are you? Oh, I said hi to you before. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. See, I told you I'm exhausted. I am beat. But nevertheless, let me just give you a little bit of insight as to how this all got started before we move on. Now, let me see. Here we go. This is one of the videos. I'm not even putting them in a certain order because they both basically pertain to the same topic. But a lot of people are not aware. Hi, Catwalk. How are you? A lot of people are really not aware how all of this came about, how it was ignited. So with that said, let me turn this down just a little bit. And I'll go ahead and share this video with you.
To the Child Care Assistance Program. Two of the child care businesses in Minneapolis that were featured in the video, we were invited into one of them, and the owners say they feel targeted and maintain they did nothing wrong.
They opened 2 p.m. So when Nick Shirley was here, it was before that.
His name is Nick Shirley. I apologize. I should have known his last name. His name is Nick Shirley, and he is a YouTuber. So let me go ahead and finish this. But, again, I, as a daycare provider myself, I can definitely attest to it's not just a certain community of people. Let me reiterate that. It's not just a certain community of people that are committing fraud. It just so happens that the Somalians are the ones being targeted in Minnesota. And to be truthful about it, they're kind of leaning on them here in the state of Washington as well, instead of focusing on everybody that's committing fraud, not just a certain group of people. Okay, hold on just a second.
Like around before the operation starts.
On Nicollet Avenue in Minneapolis, we spoke with the owner of Albee Kitchen and the building Quality Learning Center is in. She says she's been receiving a lot of calls and visitors asking about the childcare provider next door to her kitchen. It's one of the daycare businesses featured in a viral video accusing them of fraud.
Okay, now this gentleman right here is not Nick. It's the younger guy next to him. They're working together. Just to be clear, this is not Nick. Hello, Chandra. I see you.
The center sign on the building has been getting a lot of attention for a misspelling, and as you can see, that has since been updated. The commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families responded to the video Monday, saying there were children present at the sites when they were visited. State officials say the center had reported they would be closing last week, but officials learned Monday they have decided to remain open.
Okay, so let me just stop here for a minute. They were accused of fraud. They were being investigated and found that they were fine. But this is just one instance.
Up their licensing status with the state, and it's listed as being active. Our crews did see children going in and out of the building Tuesday. A parent says she's been a customer for several months.
There's a lot of daycare, but this is the closest one that we know.
Over on 24th Avenue South, ABC Learning was another provider featured in the video. It was filled with children Tuesday. The owner got emotional while defending her business.
If I do something wrong, hold me accountable. I'm a human being. I can take my problem. But don't blame me something I have nothing to do with.
This center was open 5.5 years. This center never had problem.
And people at Quality Learning Center didn't want to provide a comment on camera. And the state says they currently have 55 open investigations related to the Child Care Assistance Program.
So there are currently 55 open cases in Minnesota for the child care fraud. Okay. So again, they have been targeting, I would have to say the state has been looking at all child care cases, all child care fraud cases, not just Somalians. Okay. However, it appears as though ICE took that opportunity. Oh, Mr. Phillips, you're at the casino. Have fun, hon. Don't lose too much money, okay? But unfortunately, it's kind of part of the story is not being given. It seems to be that there seems to be a perception that only immigrant-related daycares or daycares operated by immigrants are the ones that are involved with this, and that very well may be the case that there are some involved. However, it's just not Somalian. Okay, let's be real about it. There's some white folks out there doing the wrong thing. There's some black folks. There's Asian folks. There's all kind of people out there that have daycares. And if you're taking subsidy and you're breaking the law, you're going to be investigated. But hence, this is why ICE stepped in, and they used this opportunity to go after these daycare providers that are Somalian, hoping that they catch one that's illegal. And just to mention, I can attest to the fact that you got to go through some major scrutiny with this on a state level to even be licensed to provide child care. In other words, what I'm saying is that you can't be illegal and have a child care. Point blank, period. Hold on just a second. I'm going to go ahead and share another video on this Nick dude, Nick Shirley. Now he's been literally thrown into the media big time with regard to he was interviewed by CNN. He's been really, out in the forefront now because of his work as a content creator investigating illegal daycares and whatnot. Hold on a second. Okay, this young lady is basically reacting to a discussion or an interview of Nick on the fraud system. Hold on.
We have a few videos that I found online that basically claim that everything you were saying was fraudulent. So I want to get your response to these viral videos. Yes, I'm ready.
So most of our clients, not most of our clients, all of our clients is after school hours. So schools, earliest dismissal would be 2:15 to 2:30ish, and the latest dismissal would be up to like 4:30ish, 4:40ish. So that's.
So you can tell that was the man in front of the Quality Leering Center. Nick goes on to say that while that man was shooting that video, literally at the exact same time, not many people know this, but the commissioner of children was on a live stream while he was filming that, saying that they had shut that location down a week ago. So while this man is saying this on camera, the commissioner of children is literally saying that that location has been shut down for a week.
Now, there's a reason for this. Why she's bringing this up. While this gentleman was out there saying, I can't get in the building, they're fraudulent, this is not an operation, this is not a daycare, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This childcare had been shut down a week prior for whatever reason. And he's saying that this business didn't exist. So, I give him credit on trying to get to the bottom of fraud. I give him that. But you can't base your assumptions. I don't know that information, Catwalk. I'm not even talking about statistics. I'm just basically saying in this particular case, you can't base your assumptions on the fact that you can't get in the building or they have a misspelled sign outside. Okay. So again, and there's other daycares as well that were either not open at that particular hour that he came. There's different, daycares that they have their way of running things, and they have to be mandated by the state, and they have to follow the state's rules and regulations. So I'm not disputing that there aren't any fraudulent cases out there. I'm just saying that the ones that he was focusing on, not all of them, but some of them that he was focusing on, he was accusing them. It was unfounded.
So I think Nick was saying earlier that he went to that location on December 16th. The video aired sometime after that, and then shortly after is when that location was shut down. He also went on to say that the man was saying their operating hours are after school. So I think he said from noon to 10 p.m., which Nick also pointed out that this is not completely legal in the state of Minnesota, those operating hours. I did double check that.
Now, he said that it's not illegal. It's not legal to operate your daycare at the hours of that particular daycare. That is not true. However, there are stipulations with the state as to when you can and cannot open up, depending on your what type of kids you're bringing in. Some people are only open after school is open. So you have to take those things under consideration as well. She's down with the chipmunks. Okay, Q-Rock, you got jokes. Hold on just a second. Hello, sweetheart. How are you doing, Crystal?
And it's not that it's explicitly illegal, but you do need a very special license to be able to operate a daycare during those hours. Very, very interesting. That's also the same guy who was later seen in a video celebrating the win of the mayor of Minneapolis. And this is the still from that video of him with the mayor. You can search it online and watch it if you want to see it for yourself. It very much looks like the same person.
Yeah. So much for that. Yeah, he's down with the mayor. Okay. And he's entitled to cheer for whoever he wants. Okay. Hold on just a second. Let me pull this up. Okay, so that's where a lot of this started. And let's fast forward. I don't want to get off into, was it justified and replaying that same video over and over. We've all seen it. We've seen it. And people have their own opinion as to whether it was justified or not. Okay. So now we're in a different area. We're talking about investigations now, and anything that involves the taking of a life, especially by an agent or law enforcement, whatever you want to call them. There needs to be an investigation. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree that there has to be. I mean, this is what this country is built on. We don't just jump the gun and say, oh, they didn't do that, or oh, they were justified. There has to be an investigation. There's checks and balances. But what I found out is that there's an investigation on Renee Good, but the DOJ will not be investigating Jonathan Ross. The ICE agent is Jonathan Ross is the name of the gentleman that pulled the trigger. And inevitably, I can't pronounce that word, inevitably unalived Renee. So although there will be there we go again with that word. There will inevitably be an investigation because there is no statute of limitations on this matter. Hello, T is Mimi. How are you? So let me first share this with you. Now, this is from Trent Out Loud. I'm just going to show a brief video of what Trent Out Loud had to say. He shared a video that I have some other video of the same gentleman. Okay, so let me go ahead and share the screen. Shout out to Trent Out Loud. He's a very good content creator as well.
Now, here is one video that I'm going to play for you. And this is about the investigation that is ongoing, but also not ongoing.
All right, T is Mimi. Thank you for letting me know you got it. I'm glad you got it, love. Good, good. Okay.
Renee Nicole Good is being investigated. Yes, the woman that was in her car, the woman that was unalived, that's no longer here, whose children are now orphans, is under investigation to see if she was part of any terrorist organizations or domestic terrorism or whatever you want to call it. They want to investigate and find out more about her.
And again, I can see that. I can see that. However, if you're going to investigate one, investigate the other. And Michael Whiteman, I'm not a biased Democrat because I'm not a Democrat or Republican. So you can kiss my entire ass, okay? Please. Don't come in here with that bullshit tonight. Be respectful. I'm letting everybody know when you come in here tonight, and if you come off disrespectful And in your particular post, sir, the biased Democrats, rats at the end, that's disrespectful, okay? I'm telling you now, don't come in here with that bullshit tonight, because you will be banned. I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know up front. I don't have a problem with people coming in here and giving their opinion as long as it's respectful, because everybody does not have the same opinion. Okay? So Michael and anybody else that want to come in here bumping your gums, calling people names and all this stuff, please refrain from that. Thank you. Full Metal Chad, the courts will take case law into consideration. It is well established that it is lawful to fire on a driver when the officer feels their life is being threatened. Absolutely, that's true. However, they have rules that they have to abide by as well, one of which is do not stand in front of a vehicle. Now, don't get mad if you step in the way and then end up getting grazed or their policy tells them do not stand in front of a vehicle or behind a vehicle. And I'm not even debating, what she should have done or should not have done. I'm just saying there's two sides to everything. And we can go over this and be respectful with it. That's all I'm saying. Hold on a sec. Let me add this. It just doesn't seem fair that the woman that has been unalived is now under investigation and the person that pulled the trigger is not. That does not seem fair in this country.
And although it's unbelievable to think, you have to be fair. You have to watch Fox. You have to watch CNN. You have to read both sides. You have to watch shows like Abby Phillip, Nightline, and get both perspectives. And it is only fair that when there's an incident like this, there's an investigation. So although it's hard to swallow, it does make sense that you would investigate an incident like that. But also, you would expect for there to be an investigation under the ICE agent, Jonathan Ross, who unalived Nicole. So if you can investigate one, you should definitely have to investigate the other. But of course, DOJ, Pam Bondi, Donald Trump have decided that they should not investigate Jonathan Ross. And that was the conversation I had with one of our listeners earlier today, Karen. Shout out to Karen. I don't know if you're here. Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Our leaders are supposed to uphold the law, no matter if you like it or not, no matter if you have a side or it just doesn't matter what side you're on. You're supposed to uphold the law, no matter what the side that you agree on. You can't just arbitrarily say, oh, well, we're not going to investigate him because we agree with him. That's you. That's not the law. The law doesn't say that you have the right to do that. And I'm sure that many people will agree with that, whether they believe she should have been unalived or not, whether he should have pulled the trigger or not. The least you can do is uphold the law that you stand in this country. And you want to take advantage of all the laws that benefit you. And no president or anybody should be able to say, oh, well, this person doesn't need to be investigated and this one does. That's bullshit. And if she recklessly endangered the officer's life, look at it like this, political overtones. He endangered his own life when he stepped out of their own policy and stepped in front of a moving vehicle. The vehicle wasn't even moving yet. He stepped in front of a vehicle that later they claim is a weapon. You step in front. That's like standing in front of a GUN, daring someone to pull the trigger. Okay? And then you want to, you see, this is where I have a problem. You guys want to look at one, not the other. One and not the other. Yeah, she put herself in danger, and so did he. And he didn't give the command. He's standing in front of the vehicle with his phone. And he could have stepped away. How do you know she was in reverse? She put it in at some point she had to put it in drive. See, this is where you guys get real, you know, I don't know. I'm going to agree to disagree, political overtones, but you're entitled to have your opinion.
Yep, I'll get to the comment section at the end of the show. But I applauded her with saying that J6ers were agitators, and there was a lot of things that were going on there that was misled, and a lot of videos that were deleted, and she didn't stand behind Renee, but she did say there should be an investigation under Jonathan Ross. And I think that is not the American way. It's not constitutional. And like I have been saying for the past 2 weeks since this happened, or a week since this happened, I always like to look at things from a future level. I'm always thinking what's going to happen 5 years from now, 10 years from now, so you can plan and adjust. And I asked the question, what does this mean for the United States of America? What does this mean for the future? What does it mean for the kids? What does this mean for future immigration? Let's get into this video now. And
1223 YouTube. Okay, he said the officer was already in front of the car. Already. The officer is automatically investigated because he fired the gun. Look at the damn videos. She looks him right in the eye and pulled forward. Sir, yeah, they should be automatically investigated, but clearly you haven't read the title. The title says that they're not investigating. They're not investigating. Your president, Bondi, all those people came out and says, we're not going to investigate. Now, are you saying that that's fair? The office is not automatic. Well, it should be automatically investigated. Anything else is investigated. But in this particular case, they are electing not to investigate. That's what this is about. Thank you. We move forward.
you're going to hear what is going on in the Justice Department since they've decided not to investigate Jonathan Ross. Take a listen.
Some major news right now. Overnight, there was a mass exodus from the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division as multiple senior attorneys resigned.
Hold on, something happened here. Hold on just a second. Can you guys hear this? Let me know if you could put a 1 in the chat if you can hear it, because the video is not playing right now.
Because of the Trump Justice Department's refusal to investigate the horrific shooting of Renee Nicole Good. First reported by MS Now, at least.
I'm sorry, that picture didn't come up.
We have some major news right now. Overnight, there was a mass exodus from the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division as multiple senior attorneys resigned because of the Trump Justice Department's refusal to investigate the horrific shooting of Renee Nicole Good. First reported by MS Now, at least 4 leaders at the Justice Department unit that investigates police killings have resigned in protest over the administration's handling of the horrific shooting of Renee Nicole Good. 2 leaders of the criminal section of the Civil Rights Division have left to register their frustration after Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon decided not to investigate ICE agent Jonathan Ross. At the same time, the Trump Justice Department is investigating Renee Nicole Good instead of Jonathan Ross, by the way. They're looking into any ties she had to, quote, activist groups.
Okay. Now.
Okay. So, with that said, let me remove this, because there has been an update to that. Okay. This same gentleman that you just saw on the screen came out later with an update. Okay, where is it? Where is it? All right. Okay, this is very short, so hold on.
The New York Times has now confirmed that the second in command of the U.S. Attorney's Office, Joseph Thompson, who oversaw the fraud investigation in Minnesota, was one of the people who quit. But it's not.
So the guy that was overseeing this investigation is one of the people that quit. There have been 6 different ones that have walked out. Six different people from this particular office has literally walked out. Senior members of this place has walked out because it's not fair. It's not according to the law. And at this point, if you feel that it's fair, that they can sidestep the law, then God bless you.
Not just him. There are several other career prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's Office who quit, 6 total. And that's on top of the career Justice Department officials at Main Justice and the Civil Rights Division, who have also resigned in protest over the fact that the DOJ Civil Rights Division isn't adequately investigating the horrific shooting of Renee Nicole Good. This really does seem like an inflection point right now in this Justice Department. We know that Trump isn't happy with Pam Bondi. We will see what happens next. Spread the word, and as always, follow along, stay up to date on all the news that you need to know about. There'll be more to come very soon.
Okay. Hold on just a second. One more video of that young man. Let me pull that up. Okay, this is very short as well. Or resign or get fired. I hope they don't do that on your job, Catwalk. I really don't. I mean, for real. There's checks and balances. And Ashley, you said good, let the traitors leave. I'm going to tell you one time. Maybe you just got here. But if you're going to come in here, please be respectful. Everybody can have an opinion. But don't come in here being disrespectful, okay? Please. Because if in this country, nobody's a traitor. In the respects that you're talking about, at least. Let me shut up.
We have some more major news right now. Attorney General Keith Ellison from Minnesota has confirmed that there are no statute of limitations for murder, and that even if the Trump administration blocks the investigation into Jonathan Ross, the ICE agent who shot Renee Nicole Good, that the investigation can and will continue regardless of whether or not Trump is in office.
Now, what he just said is basically they can block it if they want to, but they'll still be investigated on a state level. And that's pretty sad, too, because the federal government, you would think the federal government would be more inclined to follow the law. In this case, it's left up to the states to follow the law because the big boys don't want to.
I spoke to Ellison, who confirmed that the investigation should and will continue because there is no statute of limitations here. Ellison also confirmed that Minnesota does have jurisdiction in this case. Now, here's the thing. He says that there is no absolute immunity. Kristi Noem, J.D. Vance, they are wrong. There is no
absolute immunity. Despite what they say over there. Okay, Patricia Piney, I said be respectful when you come in here. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not playing tonight. with none of you. Hold on a minute. Okay, hold on.
Absolute immunity for Jonathan Ross. There is a thing called qualified immunity, but there is no such thing as absolute immunity. And qualified immunity is an issue, a legal issue, that Ross would have to argue in front of a judge and or a jury.
And I find it very hard to believe that he's going to be able to stand in front of a judge and convince a judge that he is immune. I find that very, 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 very hard to believe. Hello, Ann Lloyd. How are you, sweetheart?
Pretty significant news. That full interview with Ellison is at my Substack, linked in bio, so please go check it out. Spread the word.
Okay. So, with that said, let me go back to Trent out loud and hear what else he has to say.
Now, here is from earlier today.
Pretty major news right now. According to the New York Times, the mass exodus.
Now, we've already heard this video, so we'll just let that play through.
At the Department of Justice is growing this afternoon. Now 6 prosecutors have resigned over the DOJ's failure to investigate the ICE agent, Jonathan Ross, who shot and killed Renee Nicole Good. The New York Times has now confirmed that the second in command of the U.S. Attorney's Office, Joseph Thompson, who oversaw the fraud investigation in Minnesota, was one of the people who quit. But it's not just him. There are several other career prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's Office who quit, 6 total. And that's on top of the career Justice Department officials at Main Justice and the Civil Rights Division, who have also resigned in protest over the fact that the DOJ Civil Rights Division isn't adequately investigating the horrific shooting of Renee Nicole Good. This really does seem like an inflection point right now in this Justice Department. We know that Trump isn't happy with Pam Bondi. We will see what happens next.
So I thought that last part was really, really important. Listen.
Okay, yes, Catwalk, you're absolutely right. The state and Catwalk says the state and local government owes the Good family. They did not protect her nor the public. Law enforcement is designed for law agencies to help one another. And with that said, I didn't see anyone else of another law enforcement agency other than ICE involved in that issue. And why others were not there, who knows? But I agree with your statement.
And again,
inflection point right now in this Justice Department. We know that Trump isn't happy with Pam Bondi.
We know that Trump is not happy with Pam Bondi. A lot of people miss that part. And also the part where he said this is an inflection point. You have career people leaving the DOJ, people from the civil rights section, people that are Republicans, people are literally at their wits' end with this administration and the decisions that come as a result of things like this. The year started out with Epstein files, no answer for the redaction. Venezuela, going into another country without any sort of heads up to Congress.
Let's see. Country Living said if she had not hit the officer, she would not have been shot. Had he not stood in front of the vehicle, he would not have gotten hit. As a matter of fact, he wasn't even hardly hit. He was grazed. He did not go down. None of that. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at the video, his gun was pulled before she even moved her vehicle. Look at the video, man.
And then Donald Trump says, yeah, I told all the big oil companies, I told them because I needed to know if they were willing to invest $100 billion, but I can't tell Congress because they'll tip everybody off. Then he's threatening Iran, and then he's saying this.
Political overtones. Can you here? Hold on just a second. Let me pull this up. Political overtones said she set out to obstruct ICE from arresting and deporting an illegal immigrant wanted for sexual assault. She was there to break the law. She was being detained and was ordered out of her vehicle. Political overtones. Do you have any receipts stating that they were there to get rid of an illegal immigrant wanted for sexual assault? Or is this something that you just heard on the internet? I'm just curious. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm curious because I would like to know if they were there to arrest a particular individual. Who was that individual? And what were the charges? Because someone wanted for sexual assault is not someone wanted for daycare fraud. I'm just asking. I'm asking the purpose of them being there, political overtones. What was their purpose of being there? Do you have receipts? Where did you find this out? Please let me know so I can go check it out as well. We all looking at this together. And liberal, 123 YouTube, liberal insanity. No, this is not insanity, and I'm not an idiot. And now you can get the fuck out of my chat too. I told you don't be disrespectful, and I guess you couldn't help yourself. So now you're gone, bitch. Sick of you radical ass motherfuckers, I swear.
Then he's talking about Greenland, and then Nicole Good gets unalived. It's a national story, a worldwide story. We have a video, and then you go and you investigate this woman. Fair, totally fair, but then you don't investigate the ICE agent. I think it's just a huge miscarriage of justice, and I think it is so wrong.
And not furthermore, let's talk about this ICE agent and some of the things that have been said about him. He had been involved in other issues just like this. This was not his first rodeo. But again, they don't want to investigate because there's going to be some shit that comes up on him as well. And that's what y'all don't want to happen.
For the leader of the Department of Justice and for Donald Trump to be doing something as ridiculous as this. This is getting to a point of no return almost. I think that's pretty much what I've said. Like I said, I've been talking about this all day, and I'm just like, I never get to a point where I don't know what to say. I'm at my 663rd episode of doing a show where I talk for an hour and a half a day by myself. So I'm not really short of words, but days like this are just, sometimes I'm like, I don't know what else I could say. I don't know what other perspective or what I can bring. And then on top of it, you hear another near incident, another near unaliving. And I wish I could play it for you, but it's just so bad to see these ICE agents ripping a woman out of her car. She was literally just going to a dentist's office. Like, hey, I have to get to my appointment. And there's a protest in the street. Like, what?
Yeah, and I completely agree with him. This becomes so draining that you're flooded with all this information, and it's ridiculous. Some of the videos that they've got out here showing people being dragged out of their vehicles, like he said. We're seeing these protesters. We see these people protesting and being dragged on the street, shot in the face with some kind of chemical or whatever. And for what? Who are you looking for in that crowd? Go through the crowd, go get you who you need to go get. But it almost looks like they're just targeting people that are protesting. Are you going to places where people are protesting? Or are you going to places that are just there to protest and nowhere near who you're looking for? Munoz was convicted of fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct in 2023. Okay. And what does that have to do with ICE? I'm just curious. What does that have? Munoz. You talking? Never mind. Let me just finish up this. Because he's right. This shit is draining.
What's going on? Drag her out of the car, cut off the seatbelt, and drag her in and arrest her. They're busting in her windows, reaching in her car. That is illegal. An officer cannot reach in someone's car for no reason. You'll need a warrant for that. So anyways, look, if you're watching this on podcast platforms, go over to YouTube on our video page. If you're on YouTube and watching this on our live after the show, go over, we deep dive, and I speak to Karen about this.
Okay, he's done with talking about that. But I'm just saying what I'm saying, okay? Hold on just a second. I got to pull up. Let me see if I can find the video that I had earlier of what they were doing today. Okay. Oh, shoot. This is from, I believe, The Guardian. Okay, let me go ahead and pull this up. Okay. Madness. 2 U.S. citizens violently detained by ICE in Minnesota, officials say. 2 Target employees forced to the ground, then into an SUV, then dumped in different parking lot. Two U.S. citizens who are employees of a Minnesota Target store were detained by federal immigration agents before at least one was dumped in a different parking lot. Hello, Catherine Powell. I think this is the one you're talking about, Anne. Let's see. 2 U.S. citizens who are employees of a Minnesota Target store were detained by federal immigration agents before at least one was dumped in a different parking lot, community leaders and a Democratic politician have alleged. The Richfield incident is one in a growing number of violent encounters between civilians and federal agents captured on video since the killing of Renee Nicole Good by the ICE officer Jonathan E. Ross on the 7th of January. According to the Minnesota State Representative Michael Howard, who represents Richfield, and video footage taken by witnesses, a team of ICE agents that had assembled at the Target on January 8th forced 2 employees to the ground at the entrance to the store, then bundled them into a dark SUV. Gregory Borvino, the senior U.S. Border Patrol official who has become the public face of the Trump administration's immigration enforcement action in Minnesota and elsewhere, was present during the incident. A later clip posted on X purports to show one of the two in a distressed state at a different parking lot. In the clip, he is crying, and a bystander is heard saying that he is bleeding, although blood is not visible in the video. They threw me on the fucking ground, he says between sobs. The Guardian has not been able to verify the authenticity of the video clips, the first of which was shared by the Department of Homeland Security in a post on X. Let's see, on Monday, the agency said this individual was arrested for assaulting federal law enforcement officers. The post cited the federal law prohibiting assaulting, resisting, or impeding federal officers. The post did not identify which of the two detained employees it was referring to and gave no details of an alleged assault on any officer. The post also had no explanation of how or why the person was set free soon after his arrest. Howard, said he had spoken to both of the people who were detained and criticized what he called an ICE rampage across Minnesota in the wake of Good's killing. In Richfield, federal agents, including Greg Bovino, senior commander of U.S. Border Patrol, entered Target without a warrant, physically assaulted and arrested two Target employees, both U.S. citizens, he said in an update to his webpage. They have now been released but sustained injuries and untold trauma, while their rights were trampled for no reason whatsoever. In a subsequent interview with the Minnesota Star Tribune, he added, "I can't believe in the year 2026 in our country we have two workers, they're U.S. citizens, violently arrested and hauled away. It's madness." And I think that's the problem right there. The violence. That's the problem. You can break the law, but do you have to be violently dealt with? Especially if it's not happening at that particular moment. They went and hunted these two down to Target. See, there's a double standard going here. Neither ICE nor the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, responded to questions. That doesn't surprise me. Another video from the scene from TikTok user Logatora17 appearing to capture the moments before the detentions shows one of the two people walking backwards into the store and away from a lone officer who is pursuing him. The officer then lunges at the person and brings him to the ground as other agents rush in. "If this doesn't make your blood boil, I don't know what will," Howard said in his statement. "We are actively working to provide support to our community members. We are also communicating with Target about their responsibility to better protect their workers and customers. And we continue to call on ICE to get out of Minnesota." The Target press office did not respond to a request for comment. In a statement and interviews with The Guardian, Good's family on Monday called on people outraged by ICE's actions to root their conversations in humanity, empathy, and care for the family most affected. Family members, most of them relatives of Good's late husband, Timmy Macklin Jr., said they hoped the unimaginable loss the family had suffered would lead to meaningful change. "There's been so much hateful rhetoric back and forth, and what's been missed is painting a picture of who Renee was," Good's sister-in-law, Jessica Fletcher, said in a statement that made no specific mention of ICE. The Attorney General of Minnesota, Keith Ellison, said Monday night that he was filing a lawsuit against the Trump administration. DHS's use of excessive and lethal force, their warrantless racist arrests, their targeting of our courts, our churches, houses of worship, and schools are a violation of the Administrative Procedure Act on arbitrary and capricious federal actions, Ellison said at a news conference. And we ask that the courts will end the surge of thousands of DHS agents in Minnesota. Okay. So there we have it. I mean, it's to the point we can go back and forth and debate if it was necessary, if it was not. Both sides could have done something different. Let's be real about it. But because one side is being backed by a tyrant and the other isn't, I guess it's okay. But see, my thing is this: wait till it happens to one of your loved ones. And they don't have to be in their car. They can be walking into Target. They could be a shopper going into Target, and they just happen to look the right way. You know. So, like I said, there's all kind of ways that this could be dealt with, but ICE, in my opinion, is a rogue bullshit instituted by the president, because even our own police don't operate like this. There is a humane way of dealing with this. If somebody is breaking the law, if somebody's doing something in terms of immigration, it doesn't take 7 or 8 people to go bum rushing a daycare to get one person. That's your opinion. That's your opinion, Jay Callie. And I tell you what, when they come after you, I don't want to hear it. And on all that note, y'all, I'm out. That's the end of my live this evening. I told you I'm going to go lay down because this is a lot. But you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you to everyone that came in, both respectful and not respectful. I got rid of the disrespectful ones. And those of you that come in and you may have a difference of opinion, and that's fine. That's fine. You have a right to have a difference of opinion. All I ask, oh, I'm a biatch. Your mammy's a bitch, okay? Get your dick sucking ass out of here. Come after you. Get out of here. This is how ignorance looks. This is what ignorance looks like. So with that said, I'm out, y'all. Have a good evening. And God bless some of you that are just clearly clueless in humanity. Good night.
Hey there, my kinfolk. Thanks for stopping by. Auntie Mickey's house, where we reach for the sky. Every comment and smile, you make my heart glow. Together we're strong, together we grow. From gossip to politics, we cover it all. Sharing laughs and thoughts, having a ball. Your support means everything that I know. Feels like family here in this sweet show. So let's keep it flowing, keep the love alive. Every moment together makes me thrive. You're more than viewers, you're my kinfolk. You see, my gratitude runs deep as the sea. Thank you for being here, for sharing your time with each comment, with each rhyme. You're my kinfolk, my family, my crew. So much love to all of you. Turn up the camera, let's make it bright. Your support lifts me up, takes flight.